Now let's take a look at this figure 21-28 that deals with utilization equipment. First of all, we want to review utilization equipment, define it in Article 100 in the NEC. But mainly when you select an enclosure, what kind of enclosure does it need to be? Are you having any of the devices that are mentioned in 501.115? And if the answer is yes, this needs to be an explosion-proof enclosure. You say, no, it's not. We're in an unclassified area. Then you could go over and utilize table 110.28 in the NEC and select an enclosure there based upon where you're going to be installing it in an unclassified area. But remember, dust type enclosures are dust tight and ignition temperature type enclosures. And then, of course, if you look at gas and vapor areas, then you're looking at explosion-proof or purged and pressurized type enclosures. So the enclosure where you have utilization equipment, then you have to choose an enclosure that is listed for that area, and that's in 500.7. And you could use a purged and pressurized enclosure, or you could use an explosion-proof type enclosure. If any of the devices and components inside it fall under 501.115 in the NEC. Or otherwise, you would need, say, an explosion-proof type enclosure. You could use a Hoffman box in some cases. If you're in Class 1 Division 2, you could use a non-explosion-proof type enclosure like a Hoffman box and use hermetically sealed contacts or all immersion type contacts in accordance with 501.105 or 501.150, for example. So this is choosing an enclosure that could be used to enclose components used for utilization equipment purposes, and that's what this figure is illustrating to the user of the NEC.